everybody, and welcome to this episode where we meet the federal candidates. Today we're here with Deborah Perrier, the candidate for the People's Party of Canada. So to start today's interview, could you tell us what your goals are for the region of Prescott-Russell-Cumberland?
Sure. Well, first of all, engagement, getting people in the community involved. But I'm kind of looking at this from the perspective of a real newbie. Mm-hmm. So I think there's a long-term goal and a short-term goal. The short-term goal would be to win, to get people engaged, doing some canvassing, talking to people, getting out there and getting my face out there and getting them to know me and me to know them. But the long-term goal, I think, is really to build up the PPC, the People's Party of Canada, to build up the people's knowledge and understanding of who we are and what we stand for. Because unfortunately, due to a lot of the issues that are out there regarding media, a lot of people don't even know that we exist. Like, a lot of people don't even know who the PPC are. So that would be definite goal, is to get out there and get my face out there and meet people and have them meet me.
Yeah, for sure. And how do you plan to obtain the community support?
Good question. Again, I think it all boils down to engagement. There is somewhat of a separation, I think, with politics, and people are kind of at the end of their rope, so to speak. And so just reaching out, talking to people, getting my rubber boots on and getting out there in the farmers' fields and meeting them where they're at, door knocking, phone calls, emails, just reaching out any way that I can, as well as attending local festivals. And we were kind of thrown into this election a little bit sooner than what we had originally planned. I only started this whole journey in August.
Okay.
And I was planning on, having almost a year to build relationship and getting to know people. And surprise, it didn't exactly turn out that way. So right now it's just a matter of getting out there, getting my face out there, and getting the people to allowing people to get to know me. And I have had a couple of really good conversations with people, but so I think it would be just a matter of reaching out and hoping they reach back.
Yeah. And how do you plan to engage the community to participate in your decision making?
Oh, lots of town halls.
Yeah?
I love town halls. I love coffee shop meetings, one-on-one. I love one-on-one conversations with people. I really believe in an open door policy. I will always be attainable. I will always be reachable. My personal phone number is on my sign. So I am not afraid of talking with people. I'm not afraid of meeting people.
Yeah.
So getting them involved in the decision-making process requires two sides. I'm inviting, and in order for them to take part, they need to show up.
Yeah, of course.
They need to, apply themselves and to send in letters, send in emails, knock on the door, call, whatever.
Yeah.
I hope to have that kind of involvement with the community.
Well, that's great. And what separates you from the other candidates?
Good question. What separates me? My policies, I believe. The policies of the party. I strongly believe in freedom, personal responsibility, caring for one another, the good old-fashioned common sense principles that this country was founded on. And I find that the People's Party of Canada really is a foundational grassroots organization. And I think, first of all, those policies set me apart. And also the fact that I am not a career politician in any form.
Okay.
My entire political journey consisted of me doing my due diligence prior to an election. So I would go and I would watch debates and I would read platforms and I would listen to interviews and then I would pray and then I'd make my decision and then I would go and vote and then I would go away thinking, well, you know what, my government's got me. You know, they're going to take care of me. They're going to, I've done my part. Now I'm going to let them do theirs. And that was the extent. But I have come to realize that that's no longer the case. So I plan on really working hard to get out there and get to know people, and what differentiates me is that I'm going to be available. I'm there, and I'm not a career politician. I'm not in there for position. I'm not in there for power.
Yeah.
I'm not even in there for a paycheck. I am in there for the people.
Yeah.
And I think that is what differentiates me.
Well, that's great. And what made you decide to become a candidate?
Okay. How long do we have? No. The reason I decided to become a candidate with the People's Party of Canada is because I really started to see the country that I love just fall apart at the seams. Common sense, I don't know where it went. And we turned into this country that's blanketed by woke nonsense, and people have lost track of people. And now it's all separated into groups and identities and it's not you and me anymore. It's color, it's race, it's this, it's that, and that's not who we were, and that's not who I don't think the majority of Canadians want to be.
And what is your relation to the Prescott-Russell-Cumberland area? Well,
it was my choice to land there and to retire, because really I'm very close to my retirement age, and I have a little piece of heaven. I got a half an acre, and it's in the rural area. It's in the country, and I love it. Love it so much. I've just been there for just over 3 years.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, and so my relation is although I've met a lot of people, and I've been involved in there's a group that I'm involved in called Camp Eagle, actually, and it's an agricultural, a group of people from the area that get together once a month, and it's just a really nice, it's a beautiful area.
And what's an issue in the region you'd like to address?
I think engagement.
Yeah.
There's a lot we could talk about. You know, the tariffs, the supply and management. There are those things that we can talk about, but I think really the most important thing that we could actually address right now is the lack of engagement within the community. The atmosphere that I am sensing from people, even when I have been knocking on doors a lot in the last month and talking to people, and the one overall thing that I keep getting is that there's no point. Why bother? Doesn't make any difference. Doesn't change.
Yeah.
A politician's a politician. They just say whatever you want to hear. And then they turn around and do whatever they want to do. And so they don't believe in the system anymore. They don't believe in us. I don't even like to refer to myself as a politician. No. I'm a concerned citizen is what I am. And I love my country. I love people. I want to bring common sense. I want to make common sense common again. You know, and so I think what I would love to do is get people engaged again, build up their trust and their faith in the system. We could, one of the things that one of my projects would be electoral reform.
Yeah.
Because this first past the post is not necessarily, there are some good things to it, but I think that it's time for a drastic, radical change in our country.
Yeah, for sure. And could you tell us how the Francophone community will play a role in your plans?
Now, it's really funny that you mention that, because it kind of goes back to what I was saying a few minutes ago. I look at people as people. I don't look at them as English or as French or as black, as white. I don't look at them as a tick in a box. I look at them as a fellow Canadian. Si tu veux parler français, je peux parler français avec toi. Je comprends, mais je parle mal, mais je comprends. La langue, ça marche pas tout le temps avec le cerveau. Mais je vais essayer pour parler avec toi. Okay, so, and French is just as important as English. But everybody, in my heart and in my writing, in my campaign, everybody is important. And if you want to be involved, come on down. I got a job for you.
Yeah.
So it is important. I acknowledge the importance of culture and the language, and I am really working hard to learn it. It's not as easy as some might think, but it is not key for me. You are a person first, and everything else falls after.
And what is a change that you would like to bring to the community?
Excitement, engagement, faith. Bring back hope, because that's what I see, that people have lost hope. This last 10 years has done such an enormous damage to the psychological aspect of people's lives, that there's no trust anymore. There's that sense of hopelessness, and I want to change that. I want to bring people back to believing about that there is hope to make change. You just need to stand up and step forward and work together. It's not a one-person job. And that's the thing. This is not a one-person job. One person might have the title, but I was a nurse for 30 years. And it was not just the doctor that made the patient well. It was the doctor and the medical team, the nurse. The nurse was the advocate for the patient. So it was a team effort. And it's the same in this instance, is we have to work together in order to affect any change.
And could you talk to us a bit about some of the policies in your campaign?
Oh, freedom, freedom, personal freedom, personal choice, being able to say words, to say comments that you feel are your opinion, and not be afraid of being arrested or having your bank accounts frozen because you disagree or you have a different opinion. That's key. We have amazing policies on the woke agenda. For example, gender identity. Man, woman, there are only two genders. And I'll say that straight up and right up front. There are only two genders. But whatever you want to do, whatever you want to be, that's up to you. But that's up to you. It shouldn't be forced on the rest of the population to agree with you. You know, what you do behind closed doors, how you walk down the street, that's up to you. But no judging, I would say that, absolutely no judging, but there are two genders. And I strongly advocate for that, and I strongly advocate for leaving our children alone. You know, it's okay to, again, live your life the way you choose to, but bringing it into libraries and schools and inappropriate things that shouldn't be in the eyes of a child to begin with. Things need to change radically.
Okay, well, those are all the questions I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.